Hello, hello, hello. Three topics for today. New York, tech and jobs, debtors and creditors. So first thing, personal news. I'm moving to New York City for about a month, November 7th to December 7th. Reason being, there is no way to meet people in Maryland. There just isn't. Maryland's not a bad. Maryland just doesn't quite work, right? So it does have. First of all, Maryland has good bars and good parks and some nice towns. But it doesn't quite work for any age group. If you're a young person, and I'm aging out of that now, you can't meet friends. You can't meet people. You just can't. You keep hanging out with people. You keep trying and trying and trying and trying. It just does not happen. And this particularly applies to dating. There's just no dateable women in Maryland, pretty much, and you just kind of have to accept that. Every couple I know, well, not every couple, almost every couple I know met somebody outside the state. It's actually shocking how universal that is. Um, it's really really weird, and it's going more so with time. Maryland is just super super woke. It just is the most woke area in the entire country, except maybe California. But California at least has some like business type people. Maryland is just wokeness, and that makes it difficult to meet people because it's not even if you keep your politics to yourself. It just does not work. So I'm going to New York. I know I'm going there right before Mom Donnie takes control. But even with that, New York is less livable than Maryland. And you can actually meet people in New York. The numbers matter. Maryland is very 50-50 state as far as how many professional men and women. New York, it favors there's a lot more professional women. That sounds wrong, but it's just better odds. It just whenever I go up there, I always have a conversation with a woman at some point when I go up there. And I go up there a lot. It's pretty dependable. And then Maryland, you just cannot meet anybody. Used to be online dating, even that's kind of dead now. There's just no way. So I'm in a spot of work where I'm going to be working remote for a little bit. So I'm taking advantage of the opportunity, going up to New York, going to spend some time up there. Worst case scenario, just enjoy the city. Best case scenario, maybe I meet some new friends up there. Maybe I meet somebody there. I don't know. I'm hoping. I've read this. I've listened to this Alan Watts lecture about the Joker. I definitely recommend giving it a listen. I'll probably do a more in-depth discussion. But one of the things he says is that when you decide to become the Buddha or become transcendent, you just got to do the thing. Just do it. Don't tell anybody. Just go out and do it because the world will try to trap you into not doing it if you try to hesitate. If you hesitate. Now I have told people, but I got my tickets. I got my place to stay. My parents are gonna take care of my cat for a month. Going home for Thanksgiving. And I'm just gonna spend some time there. Already had some good input. Somebody said I should go to Pure Five. So they've got like pick up soccer, which I'll probably go to. I need to find a church up there. Probably I'll see if Mosaic. Actually, I should probably I'll text him after this. I'll see if Mosaic, if anybody knows a good church up there to go to. And yeah, go from there. Um, it is necessary for me to move. I'm just kind of waiting here, to be honest. Never mind, I like Maryland, but Maryland doesn't even work as you get older. Like if you have kids, they're gonna be taught in all these retarded ideas by Maryland teachers. Maryland teachers are wildly left wing. Um, so at what stage of and then as you get older, the tax situation in Maryland is really bad for retirees. So what situation is Maryland a good place to live? It's a nice place, but it just doesn't work for any particular age group. Now, of course, some people have good odds here. Some people make it work. I have to be able to do so. So I'm gonna try being homeless for a while. Maybe I rent out this place. Maybe I won't. It doesn't cost me that much per month. But yeah, that's my strategy from November 7th to December 7th. So I'm gonna be doing these videos from up there. Starting in about a week. Sounds interesting. Hopefully Mom Diner doesn't destroy it too quickly. Next thing, tech and jobs. This whole situation makes me so mad. First of all, it has not affected me as of yet. Frankly, people talk about, oh, federal government's cutting so many people. Yeah, it's cutting some, but you're still much safer in a government contractor type job than anywhere else. That's why I kind of roll my eyes when people in this area complain about it. Mind you, this might affect me. Perfectly possible. But so far it hasn't. And frankly, like people face risky scenarios at work all the damn time. It's just a fact. So people are like, oh my god, I might not get paid in a few weeks. Screw off, people are doing that all the time and they go low. That said, this whole tech job thing, like they're laying off all these people from Amazon, 30,000 people. I'm sorry, does Jeff Bezos not have a big enough boat? What exactly are we making these savings for? Because things are not getting cheaper on Amazon, are they? AWS is not getting cheaper. Like, who is benefiting from cutting 30,000 people? It might be 40,000. I've heard numbers higher and lower. 30,000 is like what people are agreeing on. What the hell? And people are like, oh, they don't need that many people. Bullshit. Amazon AWS went down for like 2 days last week. It's not being run perfectly well. It's like, why is everybody's cutting and saving and everything's just getting worse? That's not fair. People are like, oh, the economy doesn't owe you a job. Yes, it does. The economy has given people jobs for the past 10,000 years. Yes, people need to eat and have jobs and work and everything. That's part of the system. And if you're like making millions and millions and billions of dollars off it, yeah, you do owe people something. Sorry, you owe their livelihood to people. Replacing all humans, which is your stated goal for the past, I don't know, 3 or 4 years or so. Why do you expect people to be okay with that? Like, what's what do you think is going to happen if you threaten people's entire lives? You expect it to go well for you? It's not. Um, yes, the economy exists to serve people. We don't exist to serve the economy. The economy, as it is, exists to serve people. Now, generally, capitalism is a better system for that than communism. Communism always ends up with the power skulls. Capitalism has a better record. It just does. But how do you expect people to respond when you're cutting 30,000 people? Oh, the stock price will go up. Fuck you. I don't give a shit about your stock price. Especially because I don't own your stock. If I owned your stock, maybe I would care a bit more. But why? And be like a new job. It's like you're automating all the jobs. It's like there's no safe spot. I thought it used to be. It's like, well, everybody gets a job. Then it was everybody who's willing to work hard gets a job. And then it's everybody who's willing to go to college gets a job. And then it's everybody who goes to college with a good degree gets a job. And then it's well, if you're really, really good at your job, you get a job. This is Amazon. They hire good people. They're firing good people. Now it's no matter what you do, you're not safe. You're not secure no matter what you do. No matter what you do, you can be fired at a snap of fingers because it helps the economy, you see. And when I say the economy, it means it helps people at the top of the economy. That's what people are hearing. Now, of course, capitalism does have benefits to everybody, but it's getting harder to see that in some ways. I don't know what the solution is. Guilds, people organize together to support each other ups and downs. That's actually the origin of the original, well, sort of the origin of insurance. Everybody go on these boats to do trading across the world. Some of the boats go down, so you bought insurance to provide for your family if your boat goes down. You're still dead, but your family's taken care of. Well, I'm not saying people are going to die, but I am saying there may be some kind of work insurance program that requires people to be selected based on certain qualifications which is why you can't do it right now. But I think that is the solution. Maybe this week anyway. So where's all this money going? Yeah. By the way, every country is in debt. No, not every country. Most countries are in debt. All the biggest economies are in debt. America's in debt. France is in debt. UK is in debt. Japan is in mega debt. Surprisingly, China, nobody really knows the numbers. They might be in debt depending on how the Evergreen crisis went. Um, every country in Europe is facing debt. Everybody's in debt. So if everybody's in debt, who is the money owed to? And I think that's the question. Some people say entitlements. It's like, okay, the money that people owe as debt is owed to themselves. Okay, how can you owe money to yourself? And it sounds stupid. People are like, oh, you just don't understand the economy. It's very complicated. It's like, no, I'm a fairly smart guy. The money is all owed to somebody. Right. There's somebody who's owed money. And we know that more and more money of the world economy is being accumulated by people at the top. We know that. We see the inequality. We see that going on. So a bunch of people are benefiting a bunch of the economy, and more than likely, those are the same people who are owed ultimately the debt. So what happens if they just don't get paid? People are like, oh, that's not fair. Well, it's also not fair that they've accumulated more and more of the money and accumulated all the gains from globalization to themselves. And you can't really tax them. It doesn't work that way because really rich people don't get their money from income tax. They get their money from investments. And you can't really just like take you say, oh, you tax them when they sell the stock. And you can do that to an extent, but then they just keep it and it just goes up and up and up and they're worth that much money. So there isn't really an easy solution to take it away via taxes. A lot of those taxes end up just going to taxing the middle class, people who don't have the ways and means to avoid it. Go to tax shelters, Bahamas, Switzerland, Delaware. Yeah, Delaware's on the west is a really big tax haven. Look it up. The most optimal way to tax the really rich people is just to not pay them back. And the reason why people can't do that is to basically crash a country's economy. If one country did it, it would definitely crash their economy. But what if everybody does that? If everybody does it, well, that's a different scenario. If everybody owes money and decides not to pay it, it just doesn't get paid. And the thing is that the people at the top do have a motivation to keep the system afloat. They see what the money balances are across the entire world. They see that. They see the reason that part of the reason why people can't have kids is because of the uncertainty involved. Um, they see the problem. They're not stupid, and these are the same people who basically control all the different countries. So they just decide is running the world, they're not going to pay themselves back because it maintains their place. Because if society collapses, being a trillionaire means nothing. I mean, yeah, maybe you can like wall yourself up in a mountain someplace, but does anybody really want to do that? No, we've all played Fallout. Nobody really wants to do that. So why don't they all just agree, hey, for the sake of the system, we're just going to let the debt bubbles go up forever? And I know you can't say forever, but you can postpone it for a while, and then eventually snap it goes away. I don't know what happens eventually, but I think that's the scenario we're in right now. Um, and if it does belong to some countries over other countries, well, how are you going to make them pay it back? Owing somebody money always contains the risk. Lending somebody money always contains the risk that people aren't going to pay it back. That is always the case. I think the banks might run into that exact issue, and they might not even try to fight it because it's to their benefit that the system as a whole remains intact. That's my theory about what's going on financially. Anyway, that's all I got. Cheers.